on board. So actually, I'll start from 5G. Yes, of course, you people are listening about 5G from at least I can say 1 or 2 years. Okay, so it's just like for telecom domain is the area which is basically is very vast and it is covering too many technologies. Okay, so before I start, actually, we should have some ingredients with us. Audible, right? Properly. Any like, are you able to listen me properly, or you?
Yes, yes, you're right.
Okay, that's fine, right? Okay, so actually, I was saying about 5G. So for telecom domain, specifically, if I talk, so for them, lots of revenue is there. Okay, I'll mention some of the things. Of course, it's a vast chapter that includes many things in it. Okay, when uh, when it comes to 5G, it comes with lots of things. So, it's about the core. It's about the RAN. Of course, those who are from purely software and they never went to telecom domain, maybe they are not able to understand few you can say words, but feel free. I'll make you understand whatever I can, because some of the things I just mentioned so that you can grasp it quickly. Okay, so we have a telecom. When you talk about the telecom domain, they have a core, RAN, and the user equipment. You all are having one user equipment, I hope so, the mobile, which is called a smartphone these days. Okay, so yes, this device is enabled with the 4G, 5G, whatever is there, I mean, available. So when we talk about the new RAN, which is basically 5G new radio, which is replacing, or I would say rather now, which is like EPC earlier. This is Evolved Packet Core, which was the one we are introduced to. That is LTE basically. So it is it is replacing those things with a very huge amount of revenue generation in lots of market. It has market in IoT, which is very promising. And then when it comes to the other sectors, whether it is medical domain, or whether it is industrial sector, or it's agriculture, or whatever, is having a very vast scope is there. Actually, when you talk about the heavy machines like bulldozer and all, okay, that runs with the human. Okay, so 5G is not about only speed. What we understand when we see 5G, we talk about the speed. Okay, yes, of course, there is a speed which is far better than what we used to. Okay, we used to or we can download maximum speed of 40 whatever MB is there, or 45, or maximum whatever you can, but that is under MBs only. When you talk about the 5G, it talks about 10 GB. Okay, that is far better. Okay, the task you were doing in 10 minutes, you can do with the 5G speed in 1 second. So this is what is expected in 5G. And I already even I am working in that projects basically. So nowadays, when you put to the customer, for them it is okay, it is changing everything. So when you have to buy out, and you have to discuss a lot about the customer, and with customer you have to like make them aware about the use cases. So when we talk about the 5G, they have lots of use cases in IoT sector. And IoT includes basically your medical area, your agriculture, your heavy machine, light machine, and critical machines. Like you are doing surgery, I'm sitting in Delhi and I'm doing surgery somewhere in America or somewhere in UK or whatever. Okay, so it is like that. But that includes a system. Okay, when we talk about this, because we are hearing this, and then we know about the virtual reality, we know about the augmented reality, we know about latest technologies, which basically when you talk about the 5G, we know about the automated car is coming with the 5G and lots of things. Okay, so but how it will be there, and that is also a question. Okay, and how basically it is going to help in different sectors. Also that is a concern. So basically I've been given 1.5 hour. I'll try to give whatever I can, and whatever I have been actually given in my company so far, because I have given several trainings in my company to my colleagues, my senior colleagues, all those people. Okay, so but what I can tell you is you must be aware of the core, the RAN, and the user equipment. So, what is this all about? When you talk about the 5G system, it's the combination of RAN, core, and user equipment. User equipment, you are knowing about that, right? You have in mobile phones, right? This is the user equipment. When you talk about the RAN is the tower. You see that BTS and all. Okay, now with the 5G, it is not having that much heavy towers and all, that much heavy burden and all. What it is having, it is a small devices, very small in size, and that basically are several devices are distributed in a particular area to cover maximum spectrum, you can say, or maximum coverage should be there. Okay, so this is solving many things. I'll go forward with this. And this is about the RAN. And then the core. Core, you might be aware about the GGS and like so many core components are there. I cannot discuss each and all because it's a legacy, and it is again will be having a different chapter. It is okay. It is having lots of detail itself. When you talk about the LTE and you talk about the EPC, that is evolved packet core. Okay, so core basically is there where basically you have three systems, right? You have a user equipment which interacts with the core. Okay, which interacts with the RAN. Okay, then you have a service layer. Okay, there we have a charging system, BSS is business support system. Okay, there you have lots of things to deploy. Okay, you want different applications. Suppose I am working in charging domain right now, so I would talk about the charging system. So how it works, you have a phone, you call somebody, or you do browse, and you are charged with the data. Basically that is from your user equipment that goes in the RAN, communicate with the core, and then it goes to the charging system basically. The core is communicating with the charging system. Likewise, we can have any system for availing the services. Okay, correspondingly. I hope so far you are getting. I mean, is that clear to you, or should I elaborate more about this? You get some feel or not from audience? I would like to hear. I may not go continuously to speak because I like you people to interrupt somewhere.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a reply
please.
in the chat box that.
Okay, chat box I cannot
Yes.
see. I need to.
Yeah.
I need to go there then. Okay. Where is it? Screen. Okay, chat. I guess these are not the questions. Okay. I mean,
The people have understood.
yeah, it's not about the question only. Okay. PPC slide is not visible. Really? I don't think so. Is it? Somebody is
The slide
coming
is
as is.
slide is
Slide
visible.
is visible, but I guess you didn't move on other pages of the
Yes,
slide.
of course. I didn't move. I have with me, so I am
But the
explaining
slide
from
is
my.
visible.
Yeah. This is only first slide. I hope. Yes, we are in first slide only. I was giving the background. Actually, what I understand when I talk about the general people, see, I know that the audience will be combined. That is having a telecom flavor, that is having the IT flavor, that is having other flavors also. Okay, so I talk. I mean, when I talk about the 5G, I'm talking with respect to all, so that everybody can grasp something. What is being talked actually? It is like that. Okay, let me traverse then. Okay, so I made this agenda. Basically, it is why 5G, why there is a need of 5G. I mean, we were comfortable enough with 4G, right? So what is all about 5G? Why people are talking about 5G and why we need that? Then 5G technology highlights means I'll be discussing the use case and all. The 5G spectrum details, of course, I'll be discussing some of the details so that you can get have us feel how it is dealing with. Then emerging use cases and business model that I'll share some knowledge on it. Network slicing basic, you might be aware, being in softwares, people are aware of network slicing. I'll not go into that detail, which talk about NFV and the SDN, all those things, which I understand that you might be aware of that. Okay, so basically it will be using that software defined networking and the basically network function virtualization, all those things it will be using. Okay, so I'll give the basics of this and some of the benefits and how it is being implemented in our systems. Then voice service, what is all about. Okay, then impact on 5G, that is IoT, or you can say on BSS or charging system. That includes, like, I'll be combining both in the same. And then charging 5G, that will be basically a different topic itself. Okay, then meanwhile I'll not be sharing the quiz in the last and something like that. I'll just share in between so that I mean, people can interact with me, or you can I mean, you can answer those questions which are there in your board, and I can know like how you are understanding the things. Okay, so this is all about the topic, or you can say agenda for today. Okay, so it is like, possibly you are not able to grasp everything. So what I would say, be patient. You'll get something here, and I cannot cover all the topic in the sim this training. This is true because it's having a vast, basically, knowledge which shares in lots of areas that cannot be covered here in one training. Okay, so I'll try my level best to give you whatever I can. Okay, so it is 5G. When I talk about something which already, when I was showing you first slide itself, I talk about the 5G. I given some of the picture like how it is operating and what is 5G all about. So when you talk about the today's mobile user, basically everybody is interested faster data. I don't want to stuck somewhere. Okay, I'm browsing something and suddenly it is stuck. That really kills. Okay, and then what I want just continuously. It should be smooth browsing, and speed should be as much as possible. So this is the this generation and next generation's expectations from the telecoms, or you can say sectors. So 5G promises to deliver that and more than that. And 5G users should be able to download a high definition film under a second, which I told you initially while I was not showing you this slide. That can take 10 minutes in 4G LTE. Okay, you might be you people. Most of us are using Volte as well, but this is far better than Volte also. Okay, and wireless engineers say these networks will boost the development of new technologies. Okay, what are they? They are actually autonomous vehicles. Okay, that you might have heard in news, like automated cars are there. The other vehicles are there that are being used for other basically sectors as well. VR, that is virtual reality and Internet of Things. Okay, so these are itself having lots of use cases. When I start discussing, it will be having more than we expect. Lots of details is there. Okay, so it is all about, actually, when we talk about 5G, it is not only G, like it's not a only you can say one G is added in the 4G. It's not like that. It talks basically about the broadband speed which we can have, wherever we like we can have. And it is not limited to that. Okay, this certain area will not have that much speed, or certain area will have more speed, or we can have in my room. Okay, it is having so much speed there, or any interruption can happen. It's totally not like that. And there is no limitation on time as well. Then we have smart vehicles, transport infrastructure, all those things, like it will be going, I mean, it is going to help there. Then critical control of remote devices, I was talking about one of the example while I was sharing the first slide itself, I given the critical control of remote devices. That is basically, when you are at home, or you can say, I given my example that I am in Delhi and I'm operating, or I'm doing surgery in somewhere else. Okay. Okay, so that interaction of human IoT itself, which is having lots of use cases. Okay, so I'll not be going in that much detail to cover each and every use case, because it is having itself is a big chapter when you're going to implement, how you are going to implement that. Okay, network slice is the major thing which is going to be used in IoT.
अबरार है ना? हाँ अबरार है सर। मैं बहुत दिन से 6 फरवरी 20 से आपसे कोऑर्डिनेट
Please
करता हूँ मैं।
mute.
ऑनलाइन क्लासेस के लिए भी मैं एक एग्जांपल भेजा था। अगर इस तरीके
If
के ऑनलाइन क्लासेस
yeah, thank you. Okay, so major differences between EPC and 5GC. Okay, so you might be aware about the legacy, which is evolved packet core. The major difference between 5GC, that is 5G core, which basically we are talking about, compared to EPC, is that 5G control plane. Okay, what is control plane then? In the legacy, control plane and user plane, two planes are there. Control planes is basically talk about your networking and how the networking being controlled. Okay, those control parameters and how your network being controlled. Okay, and the data plane, basically it is the traffic. Basically it's talk about the traffic, how your traffic is traversing. Okay, so basically it is the user plane. Okay, so there are two planes, control plane and the user plane. Okay, I hope this you can understand this. Okay, then basically in 5GC we have a service based architecture. Previously we were not having this architecture in the legacy network, that is EPC and all LTE. Okay, it is having now, and 5G it comes with the service based architecture. What is all about service based architecture? Basically now as we transform to 5G, we are having, instead of those elements, now we are having uh, functions. Okay, in the control plane, and then these function itself is providing the services. Okay, we have one function called as a network repository function. Okay, this is in this SBA architecture. What it does, basically we have lots of function. Okay, network functions are there, that are responsible for different services. Don't worry about that. I mean, if you are not able to understand, you just imagine that in the new architecture, which is 5G architecture, 5G core architecture, in fact, that is having a function instead of previously we were having point to point elements, and that interacts with other elements. Okay, like GGSN and all, the core component. But here you are having the functions. Okay, so and every function is providing a service. Okay, and it can be a charging, it can be any other service. Okay, and how it is, I'll show in the coming slides, so don't worry about that. The major function is this network repository function in this architecture, which basically is a function. What it does, it basically it is service status aware. Like one function is a provider and one function is a consumer. Okay, and so the both service status of both the functions will be in the network repository function. Okay, and their capabilities and all, everything will be registered in the NRF. Okay, it's just like in the legacy network DNS, you might be aware. Okay, so quite better than. Okay, so network repository function is all about that. So it registers that status and capabilities of other functions. What are other functions? I'll show in the few minutes. Okay, another major difference in the 5GC is control plane is the structure, because it is a different functional operation of access mobility function. This is also a new function you might not aware of. Those who have already studied about 5G, maybe they are aware, but those who have not studied about 5G core, then they will not understand. Like, this is a new function for them, access mobility function, but it is like MME. You might be aware of that. Okay, so session management function is again a new function. 5GC includes the operation of UP and CP functions of the gateway, which was an evolution of gateway CP and UP of separation. This is CUPS basically. CUPS is the new technology, okay, in not present in the legacy. What it does basically, in the legacy, control plane and the user plane was combined. But in the 5GC, what we have separated the control plane and user plane. Why we separated? Because we want to attain the maximum benefit of that. Okay, so we put all the functions in the control plane to get the maximum benefit of that, functionally or logically or whatever. Okay, then we put separate in the user plane also. Okay, this is the one of the biggest difference between the legacy and the 5G. See,
Here, this is Faisal, and can we have
Mhm.
a little more detail of AMF and SMF that you're talking about? Just a few lines.
Yeah, I'll explain. That's why I'm just be patient. I'll be providing in further details in the coming slide only. Okay.
Hey,
So is it
hi.
fine, or should I traverse that slide and I come back here?
No. Before that, one question: is
Yeah.
this for NSA or SCA?
Yeah, it's really nice to hear that you are aware of NSA. First of all, yes, I'll go in that detail, but this is not related to NSA or SA right now. We just started. We are not, into that. Means it is maybe in coming slide it will come.
Okay.
Okay, so it is about the functions only. Of course, when I'm talking about the 5GC, you might be correlating with the SA and non-SA, NSA. Okay, but no, I'll go to in the detail, no problem. Allow me a few minutes, I'll go in that detail also. Okay, so change from the real-time communication to real-time interaction. What I am telling here, real-time communication with the Volte, you have the basically real-time communication where you message and you talk, and your call can be connected from the mobile, and simultaneously you can transfer to your desktop. Lots of things you can do with the Volte, or you can say this legacy network. Okay, we have real-time interaction in the 5GC. How it is basically achieved, I'll show you in the coming slides. Okay, it's all about the that basically frequencies. Okay, so I'll tell you about that. Allow me a minute. Okay, this is the one. Yeah, 5G and are the new radio is the new radio access. You might be aware about this. Is what I was talking about. The new radio. This is new RAN basically. Okay, I told in the beginning what is RAN basically. Okay, so 5G RAN new radio is the new radio access technology, the RAT, and developed by 3GPP for the fifth generation mobile network. It was designed to be the global standard for the air interface of 5G network. That is fine. I hope you people are aware of this. Yes, I want to go in this detail here. 5G spectrum details and benefits. What are they basically? Okay, so with the 5G, you basically you are not using only particular. I'll give you more detail here. Basically, I want to give you that is having somewhere notes. Okay, and then basically when you talk about the 5G, it has a larger bandwidth. Okay, you were using 2G, 3G, 4G in a certain bandwidth, which is very, very less. Okay. So you were using again those frequencies. Okay. Now we have with the 5G extension to higher frequencies and wider bandwidth. Okay. And when talk about the this all those things are flexible, and basically scalable design is there in the 5G. Spectrum usage also now distributed. When the bandwidth is large, you have several other frequency to use. Now we are not concentrating on the small and medium frequencies, we are going to much higher than that. Okay, so this is the spectrum usage is now distributed. Okay, so we have a trade-off. Trade-off means what? Certain frequencies are suitable to certain areas. Okay, uh, you might be understanding this. Certain frequencies are not good or not basically suitable for particular environment, so we put those frequencies in particular areas. Okay, this is like that, and we have now like a space to utilize those frequencies. We are utilizing some of the higher, very higher frequencies in some of the applications, and we are utilizing some of the frequencies in the like there are three kind of machine type you might be aware of: critical, medium, or heavy, massive, basically not medium, massive, and the broadband, which basically you are using. So these frequencies are distributed among them. Few applications require, okay, I am not interested in that much latency, I just want the application should work, and it is very heavy kind of thing, so it is able to compromise with the latency. What is very critical, that surgery kind of thing that requires very high, I mean, this latency should be there, very low latency should be there, and that is very critical, okay, in nature. So there we are using low, very low, basically in millimeter kind of for those critical usage. So we have a trade-off, okay, for the frequencies. We have a wider bandwidth, we have several frequencies in the spectrum. We are not concentrating in particular spectrum only, like particular bandwidth only. We have larger bandwidth as compared to the legacy, okay. So there, actually, here I just want to compare basically two, you can say, network. I hope you can see this picture, which is having two core network architecture. One is basically 5G EPC. I'll tell you about this 5G EPC and 5GC now. Basically, 5G EPC, what I am telling here, EPC you might be aware, right? That is combining with the LTE, E node B and all, okay. That is basically your means the legacy network, okay. It is having HSS there, MME is there, EPG is there, okay. Then it depends like what kind of product you are using there, okay. You combine the new radio there, okay. So it is the NSA. Somebody was asking me, like I do remember his name was Faisal, right? Faisal bhai, are you there still?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm
So
listening.
yeah, it is an NSA actually. Now I'm talking about. I'll give you more detail in that. So the one which is in right, basically it is option 2, which is mentioned in the 3GPP, talks about the SA. SA means standalone, and non standalone means NSA. Okay, for all. Now I'm giving the explanations. Okay. For NSA, we say non-standalone. What is that actually? Non-standalone means the control plane basically will use from the LTE. Okay. So this my 5G, the new radio will not stand alone. Basically, it is taking the help of that LTE guy who is providing you control plane of that. Okay. So we are using control plane of LTE, okay. So it is basically, you can say kind of new radio is taking help of this legacy. This is called non-standalone. Is it clear? Faisal bhai, is it fine, right?
Yes, yes, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Anybody is having
Yeah.
any doubt? Yeah.
Yeah, one question,
Yeah,
the
please.
same lines.
Mhm.
Can I ask you this question? At what point do NSA and NSA differ? I mean, not. I mean, let me put it other way.
Yeah.
In NSA, okay, till what point it is 4G and what point it is 5G? Is it still attached part, or it is still the SIP decoding, MIP decoding part, or where do till what point do 4G supports 5G? Of course, it's
Okay.
very clear the data part is 5G. There's no doubt in it. All the data paths are 5G, but only control part is 4G. I just wanted to understand that till what point is it is 4G? Is it SIP decoding, or is it where exactly?
Actually, see, it is, till what point I can say in one line, like you have compromise here. You want to attain the 5G flavor with the current technologies. Okay, it is like that. So what we have done there, we have added some of the features in HSS, this MME. We have enhanced. Basically, I would rather use the word enhance. You might be aware about this, right? When we say enhance, means something is updated in that, right? Is this right? Okay. So we'll be using the same component but enhanced versions. And what is there? We have made compatible those components which we were having basically by upgrading. You might be having interaction with customers, right? So when we talk about the upgrade system, it means we are basically changing the software version there, and we are implementing certain capabilities which were not there in the legacy system, or the old softwares. Okay, so it is like that. Basically, there are some capabilities which we, or you can say, we want something exactly like 5G. Okay, or we want to enjoy at the same time 5G, but we are having 4G. It is like that. So where we are compromising here, basically we are compromising in those speeds, we are compromising in those application, or you can say the use cases. We cannot implement all the use cases here. Okay, so there are etc etc, there are several things. I hope, is it clear or not? Can continue.
No, I think that's okay. That's one kind of explanation that we can give. The
Mhm.
other is I'm just trying to understand that the physical layer part of the physical layer part of it. That's not clear to me. I mean, we can have
Mhm.
offline. I don't want to it at this time,
Yeah,
please.
no problem at all. Yep, sure. Thank you. So okay, this is about NSA. Then we have a SA actually. SA is standalone. Standalone means there is actually options given for deployment. When I'm talking about a standalone and non-standalone, don't worry about that. Actually, what I'm talking about, this 5G was I was hearing actually. I want to implement that in the system. Okay, so I'm talking about now deployment basically. Okay, so when we talk about the deployment, how we are going to deploy there, okay, means we should have certain things in mind, like how we are going to deploy those. Okay, we have a customer is in customer networks, they are having 4G already running. Okay, so how we are going to accommodate those new features present in 5G, or how we are going to introduce their new radio. This is what we were discussing just now. Okay, those who are not understanding now, I hope this is clear for them. I am talking about the deployment scenarios in short. Is it fine? Okay, so deployment scenarios, several scenarios given by 3GPP: 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. Okay, so these scenarios, how it is being given, also I'll explain. Okay, basically it is given like when we can have the maximum output, whether we can implement all the applications, whether we can have a power like consumption less, or all those trade-off, how we can have the maximum output. Like there are several scenarios I cannot put in just few words. Okay, so for that 3GPP has given several options. Okay, how you can deploy basically the compatibility of legacy system and all. Okay, so they have given 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. There are several I mean this options, deployment options rather. Okay, so when you talk about the deployment options, we have given by 3GPP, and we are basically, it depends company to company now. Okay, vendor to vendor. Certain vendor are willing to deploy up now I have to tell actually, I have to discuss about basically what are those deployment scenarios. Okay, it
Sorry,
is not
sorry for interruption. Are you changing slides? I just see 5G EPC and 5GC.
yes, I have not changed till now. I am here only,
Okay.
so I was explaining. No problem. I'll keep on changing also if it is about the slide only. Okay, so I'll quickly cover this part. Actually, this 5G EPC is having this legacy network, and elements are visible here: HSS, MME, NEPG, all those things. It is evolved packet gateway also. The 5GC basically is the 5G core, which is a new one. Okay, I already explained you in the 5G system. You have three things. Please do remember this. What are they? One is new generation UE, that is you are having in your hand phone. This is actually, and this 5G RAN. Okay, and when you start communicating with this, okay, then it goes to control. I mean, this control function, which is a core actually. Okay, so we have three things. Okay, that combines to give you the 5G system. Okay, so core, RAN, and the UE. In the core, we have introduced new functions here. Sorry. So in core, we have introduced new functions. This is a lot more than that. I'll explain whatever I can explain here, all those functions. USF, NRF, UDM, PCF, NSF, NEF, AF, AMF, SMF. Somebody was talking about AMF and SMF. I'll give you the details, no problem. Please wait for minutes. Okay.
Nadeem,
Mhm.
can
Yeah.
you explain the interfaces N1 through N6?
Actually, yeah. I mean, for this session, I would say rather you can just have this view only, that this N1 is in between the AMF, like it is communicating between the UE and the AMF. Okay, and which is visible here. Okay, not much
Yeah.
detail are here. Yeah, when you talk about this interfaces, we don't have much detail till now. Okay, I can cover this in more detail if maybe if time provides, or in the future
So
also. Okay.
I was just looking at one-liners, basically what kind
Yeah.
of messages go through N1, N2, N3, and N4. See, and
Actually, they have segregated in you can say interfaces only. These are the interfaces which are basically present in two function between two functions. Okay, when UE is I mean, about to communicate, it will communicate to AMF via this N1 interface only, and we have a 5G or new RAN that will communicate with this AMF by second information, that interface, that is N2. And when we are communicating from the 5G RAN to UPF, user plane function, it will communicate with the N3 interface only. So it's a segregation basically for the understanding, like they have different space interfaces. They communicate over NOS. Okay, this is also you can say messaging which is being used in the control field function and the RAN UE and all. Okay, when they communicate with each other, they use this language. Okay, so is it fine enough for now, or should I?
yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm moving to other slides. Okay, so this is 5G deployment options I was talking about. Okay, so 6 deployment options for 5G. Okay, so far, which is visible in can say PPT. I hope those who are talking about the SA non-standalone, they can see here. So we have 6 options. Okay, the categorization is there. If you see, I have somewhere in. Okay, okay, I'll use this. I hope. Okay, this is about a standalone. Okay, now you are having this EPC and the 5GC, which I already explained. Okay, if you have any doubt anywhere, you can ask me. Okay, I'll just try to explain whatever I can, and that can be covered in this session only. Non-standalone, this is this one. Okay, there are 3 options which are covered in a standalone. There are 3 options which are covered in an non-standalone. These options are given by 3GPP. These are the 6 deployment options in 5G percent. EPC, you can see here. Okay, it is talking about the 5GC, which is here. Okay, now how this categorization is done, that is also important. So when you talk about the basically SA standalone, see, this is LTE and EPC. There is no new radio. Okay, so the both control plane and the user plane will be used of the same, that is LTE only. Okay, and the second one, if I say a non-standalone, here again, if you see here, NSA LTE and the NR under EPC. So what it is doing basically, it is using the control plane of LTE. Okay, and the user plane of this NR. Okay, so this is combined basically. That cannot, the new radio can be introduced here with the legacy network, but cannot run alone. Okay, that is what in 11 language. Okay, so I'll come to the 5GC now. We have 4 deployment scenarios here. One is 2 for SA and 2 for NSA. Here, if you see standalone, we have a new radio there. Option 2 is there, and we can communicate easily. Like control plane and user plane will be both of this NR. Here we have a 5GC. Okay, we are using this LTE whole, means the LTE's control plane and user plane will be used here. Okay, with the new radio. Here, the fourth option, NSA. Okay, if you talk about this, it is basically NSA NR, means it is using the LTE and this 5GC also under this LTE. Okay, these are 2 things. Here, if you come the NSA LTE and NR underscore under 5GC, which come basically this LTE cannot stand alone. That is using the NR basically here. Okay, so
Can
there
they
are several.
understand?
Yeah.
Can they understand the second row, second column thing? Option 4 as 5G driving LTE, 5G
Yeah.
is master LTE slave.
Mhm. Master,
Is it
actually,
right?
I'll give you more detail. Yeah, I'll come to, actually, I have that somewhere. I just noted down, maybe in some, I was reading somewhere. I'll give you more detail on that. Mm, I'll make it handy so that you can have a more clear picture here. Okay, let me go to that. You were talking about the four options, right? Fourth option. Okay. You see, this is the four option. Okay. When we see this fourth option, basically how it is being communicated, the dotted line and the dark line is user plane and the dotted line is a control plane. Okay, so we have here fourth option is there, non-standalone 5G NR assisted. Means what? NR basically is being used in the LTE network. Okay, they are in LTE network, but they are using the 5G NR only. Okay,
Yeah,
so
5G is master here, right?
yes, correct,
Right,
exactly,
right.
you got it. Okay,
Right.
so let me come back to my original slide now. Okay, so these are the scenarios. I hope this is clear. We have less time, so we'll take care of that. Network slicing. Network slicing, what I understand basically, that is also important. Previously when we have having a legacy physical network, we have lots of basically hardwares, and suppose one site is down, then everything goes down. Okay, and we have to build that site again, and lots of hard work we have to do for that. Okay, then we come to virtualization. What happened then? We have virtual network now. Okay, we can use those network in a fraction of seconds. We are enjoying those technologies sitting on any place, and we are using several servers which basically are totally virtualized. Then we have a cloud is what? Basically cloud is using the technology that is virtualization, but is far more than that. Okay, there are servers you will never need to worry about, and you are using as much data as possible. Means what? And that is basically, you can say, that is totally your choice, how much you want to basically, you might be aware of these technologies, scale and scale out. Okay, scale up and scale down, all those things. Okay, that can you do there, and you can play with there. So lots of for this you can save lots of money in the which was basically wasted in legacy physical networks and all. So now we are in cloud. Okay, this 5G will be there in cloud native world. Cloud native is better than that. We are involving Kubernetes, Dockers, or containerized things, microservices we are used. Okay, we are using upgrades which are zero, basically zero time in while upgrading it. So there is no downtime there. I hope I'm going in much detail, so let's not touch in that detail. This is all about the for the cloud. So when we talk about this network slicing, is about the like uh, two things you might be aware of. SDN, which I mean, I already given some of the information initially. SDN and the NFV, this network functional basically function virtualization, which we are using nowadays, that is basically utilized in this network slicing. Okay, so network slicing is what? Network slicing is operator's best answer on how to build and manage a network that meets and exceeds the emerging requirement for a wide range of users. The way to achieve a sliced network is to transform into a set of logical networks on the top of shared infrastructure. Each logical network is designed to server define. Means what? There are certain slices which are logical in nature that can fulfill a particular, or you can say a specific business purpose, or you can say a specific need of a particular customer. Okay, and how it is being done? It comprises all the required networks. It has all the network resources configured and connected end to end. That's why in the 5GC, that is 5G core, the new core, we are providing end-to-end network slicing. Means need not to worry about those. Like with the one network slice, we are using for broadband. One network slice will be using for IoT. One network slice will be using for other use cases. So we have different network slices that are fulfilling different needs of customer. That is what we can achieve in network slicing. Okay, in the same time, it's not like one network slice is running, so other has to wait. It's not like that. So this is the best part of this. Okay, I'll try to explain in few minutes. Okay, so we have, okay, so basically we covered this part, and network slice is a logically separated, self-contained, independent and secure part of network targeting different services with different requirements on speed, latency and reliability. Okay, network slice characteristics are, for example, low latency, high bandwidth, ultra reliability for a critical IoT use case, or higher latency, lower bandwidth for the massive IoT. So there are three kind of things. Okay, which is, first is low latency, the second is ultra reliability for critical IoT use case, and or a higher latency, lower bandwidth for the massive IoT. So these three use cases basically. Okay, okay, network slicing details. I'll not go to much detail here because if time permits in the end, or in some sessions, I can give more details about that. So these are the details for network slicing, how we got this. Okay, actually network slicing is having parameters inside, how you can identify the things. Okay, particular applications in running in particular slice, how the slice nature is there, or what is inside that is differentiating with the other slices. So there is a parameter which call network slice type, or network slice differentiator. Okay, that is present in this, which differentiate one slice to the other slice, that is having the values which differentiate basically. Okay, I hope this you can understand. If any doubt, kindly do let me know. Okay, how you got it? Okay, UE is pre-configured, provisioned with the signaling message with default configured NSSI. This NSSI is what? Okay, this basically network service. There should be information about this, what is NSSI, and what is accepted, or what is used, or what is allowed network slice, what is rejected NSSI. So what is NSSI? Basically network slice selection assistance information. What it is having, I told you, right? These are the parameter basically. Okay, and in it is unique in nature, and it can identify particular applications. Okay, so how we are getting this? We have in the slide itself, it's mentioned this UE is pre-configured, provided by the signaling message with default configured NSSI by HPLM. UE is only configured with a set of subscribed NSSI is SSNSI basically. Okay, subscribe, just add N with the NSSI. NSSI I just explained. Okay, it is also present in slide. Out of default configured NSSI, which is a subset, of course, when you take from larger part, some of them that call a subset of the SNSI configured in the HPLM. Then we have allowed SSNSI. Okay, allowed basically is what, which is basically the UE can use it. There is an authentication, right? You cannot use whatever you like in the network, right? So you must be subscribed to that. There should be authentication of that. So after authentication, it is the allowed as NSSIs. Okay. Okay, then I'll not go in much detail here. That is enough for you, I guess, for time being. So how it works, basically, I just explained. Okay, much detail now. Network slices, basically, network slicing is how it is basically orchestrated, how it can be used in function layers, how it can be like it has been, you can say, used in the services, which is third-party service and all. Okay, so there is some explanation given here. So when talk about the network slicing, there is a life cycle management which is shown here, you can say. Okay, you have a network slice controller.
There is one question. When we talk
Yeah.
about NSSAI, what is the relationship in between the NSSAI and the access and mobility function? Do we have some kind of relationship?
Access and mobility function, you're talking about AMF and the NSSI,
Yes.
is it? Okay,
Yes.
so what is the relation of this? Means what exactly?
Relationship, as in what I mean. Actually, I did some background study on this.
Yeah.
So the thing is, there is this one NSSAI which will identify what particular network slice you are trying to read, and what somewhere it was read, which I really could not understand, is that you identify which particular AMF it is trying to pick up, and that AMF has the idea of what it has to do further. Somewhat it was written something like this. So I
Yes.
just wanted a little more information. What is this AMF? Is this AMF a logical entity which is identified by the NSSAI, or is it a physical entity wherein everything is written, or is it something else which I'm not able to understand?
Actually, there's a flow. How can I explain you? There's a board or not? Just okay. Let's say you have network slice. Okay, so this information must be coming from UE, right? Somewhere UE will be there. Okay, I'll just take this highlighter. I want to use some board if I can. Okay, anyways, so
there is
you
a whiteboard. You can press
can
on
you help me with
share,
that?
and yeah, if you press share
Mhm.
on your the controls, there is a whiteboard at the bottom.
Okay, bottom. Anyways, I think
Yeah.
it will be like time will be gone there. Then I think we
Okay.
have a less time actually. Let's proceed with this. Okay, I'll explain here. You have network slice. Okay, parameters, or you can see the information which is coming here, HPLMN or PLMN. It goes to UE. Okay, then UE basically will communicate you the NR. NR is basically network slice aware. Means okay, there is information. This guy, this NR can understand the network slice information. Okay, now you are going to communicate with the core. So who is communicating? This NR will be communicating the core. In the core, this AMF is the first guy with whom it is going to interact. Okay, so what is allowed network slice, all those things will be coming here, right? Then it will be authenticated somewhere, right? So what happened basically from NR, that network slice information will go to this AMF. Okay, this AMF will basically is having the idea what kind of network slice it can serve. If it cannot serve, it has the capability to forward that request to other AMF. So means there are several AMF in this core. Okay, basically. Okay, so this information coming from the UE going to NR. NR is communicating with the AMF. Okay, this AMF will basically take informations from the, we have other functions. Basically I have not shown till now. I was about to show. Okay, there are other functions. Okay, NSSF is there, UDF is there. Okay, AUSF is there, lots of. So it goes to for the authentication. It authenticate that okay, this guy want to use something which is it is already subscribed to. You are understanding, right? This, if you are not subscribed to anything, you cannot use even your mobile phone.
Yes, I
Okay.
do understand.
Okay, so that will communicate, and that will have okay, AMF will understand okay, I can serve this guy. So then it will communicate to other function and the service layers, whatever it can serve. Suppose it got to know, oh, I cannot serve, then it will communicate back to this NR, and the flow will go to the other AMF. It is like that.
Okay.
It's fine, right?
Okay, somewhat, yes.
Yep. Okay,
Yeah,
then we'll proceed quickly now. Yep.
Right. Well, one
Please.
question: what is difference between the CRAN that we have now and this network virtualization?
I didn't get. Can please pardon me? Come again.
Yeah, see, we have one concept called CRAN, which is pretty much there in 4G also. And now we are coming up with this network slicing, network virtualizations, containers, and all those things. Okay. Let's see. What's the fundamental difference between them?
The first word I couldn't listen. The rest I can understand. NFV and all containerization.
CRAN, Cloud RAN.
Okay, Cloud RAN you are talking about.
Right.
Cloud here RAN, actually.
No. The concept of Cloud RAN is more or less the same, right? Of course, that is more with respect to signal processing. Can I think of Cloud RAN as
Cloud actually
of,
cloud you are running in what? Basically you are utilizing the technology that is virtualization, right? Cloud is utilizing certain technology, right? Which is virtualization.
Right, I agree. But this is something big, right? Whatever you just mentioned is something big, more bigger than what we had in Cloud RAN.
Actually,
I'll
it
tell
depends.
I'll
Actually,
tell
in
you.
Cloud RAN, it depends what
Right.
technology you are using. We have two actually. One is basically the virtualization, which is basically hypervisor based and all. Okay, VMware and kind of thing. Other is basically you are utilizing basically container base. Okay, when you talk about this container base, you have a different technologies. Code will be written in somewhere YAML and all. All those things are too different. That is basically microservices based. Okay, so that was again a different chapter. Basically, I would not cover that. So there is, if you are talking about a Cloud RAN, what is the difference between the Cloud RAN and this network slicing? uh, is it the question or something else?
Yeah, that's one question. That's the question. Other
RAN, you are talking about the RAN, right? Am I getting
right,
correctly?
right. Cloud run, CRAN. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean you can use it, RAN. I mean it depends totally, like that RAN is that much smart or not. 5G RAN, when you talk about the new radio RAN, okay, that is totally smart enough to understand the network slicing concept, right? All those basically capabilities and all. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I think I'm taking some time, but think
Hmm.
see in layman, right? Like for a layman, if you want to understand like what network virtualization is, can I say like in 4G, we had the base stations and everything in hardware. They are pretty much static. They're always they're physical. Whereas with network virtualization, we are making them dynamic, and we're making them software.
Hmm.
We can enable any base station when we want. If there's a traffic, you turn on the base station. If there's no traffic, you turn off the base station. And
Agree.
if there's more traffic, you pull in more base stations. If there's not, you just
Hmm.
relax
Hmm.
it out. I think
Hmm.
the whole concept, the whole logic behind this is to minimize the OPEX cost, right? Operational
Hmm.
expenditure.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Is it the correct understanding?
Yes, it is correct understanding, but I'm not talking about here. If there is no discussion, I mean, what you explain actually, it's you are just explaining the network virtualization basically. You are, I mean, explained just now.
Right.
It is above than network function utilization. Basically, it utilizes the concept of network function virtualization and the SDN. Okay.
Okay.
So it's, you can say it's above that. Okay, it is having more capability in it. How we have done, we provided certain resources. Okay, it's a basically logical network that use something for lifecycle management. The orchestration will be done, and the basically the resources, it basically requires the all those transport and all those things which it requires basically, and all those resources above it basically, and it provides the services accordingly. It's like that. So it is a logical function that is fulfilling a particular customer need that contains all the required resources and all. It's like that.
Right. I think it's like a base stations, pool of base stations kept on a pool. You pick
Mhm.
whatever you want depending upon the requirement.
It can be.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, 5G network slicing. I just explained. This is a picture only. Okay, I hope you can see this mobile broadband and machine to machine, reliable, low latency, and communication entertainment, internet, mobile broadband services, massive IoT slices, m- critical IoT slices that is used basically in medical and all. Okay, so this is what certain things are mentioned. There are far much more than that basically, I would say rather. Okay, 5G uses software defined networking and network function virtualization. We discuss a lot about that for the partitioning of network architecture into virtual elements. Okay, so please mute. Thank you. So this is all about, like, we have a different layers, or you can say this is basically slice we are utilizing for particular need. Okay. Okay, so if you talk about the low latency where it is used, you need to remember this. Okay, and where basically very high, I mean very low latency where it is used. Okay, and the low latency. So all these things are mentioned here in this picture. Okay, not spend much time because we have less time. 5G system architecture, I just told about this. This figure basically uses the service-based interface used within the control plane. Okay, we have control plane, user plane, I told all the functions will be put in the control plane. So this NSSF is the function, and this NSSF is basically service notification, which is basically SBI. SBI is means service based interface. Okay. Okay. So these are the network functions basically. As access and mobility function management function, we just discussed basically. Okay, termination of the NAS signaling and NAS cipher integrity protection registration management. It is just like MME. Okay, um, basically mobile management. I mean entity basically that is basically used for. I'll just explain if it is already there somewhere. I just noted down so that legacy also we can explain here. Anyways, okay, so let's move on here so that we can cover it in time. Okay, network functions, we have access mobility management functions, just like the entity which we basically use in APC. Okay, evolved packet core, that is MME. The session management function basically just session establishment, modification, release, and all. Okay, this UE basically the user equipment, IP address allocation management, and DSCP. Okay, this function termination of NAS signaling related to session management, DL data notification, traffic steering, configuration for UPF for proper traffic routing and all. It is used. User place plane function just now discussed supports basically packet routing, forwarding, packet inspection, QS handling, PDU session point of interconnect data network, all those things that can be used. Policy control function, especially you can say you might be aware about the PCRF. We have so much heard about PCRF. It is having the same kind of functionality there with some enhancement. Okay, PCRF just for those who don't, they are not aware of, it is being used in evolved packet core earlier legacy system. Okay, authentication server function is just like basically this HSS kind of part of HSS, where we basically authenticate the things, okay, by using certain protocols. Okay, unified data management basically is you can say certain authentication keys are used and they have a database. Okay, just like you can say we use HSS in the EPC, the legacy network. Okay, we have another few functions, that is application function I just given. This is basically you can say application influence, traffic routing, accessing and all. It can be done from the application function. Network exposure function, that is NEF, supports exposure of capabilities, events, secure provision of information, external application to 3GPP network, translation of internal external information. So it's just you can that expose the capability of internal functions to outer word and the inward also, means the word which is the function present inside the core also. Network network repository function, which I explained in the initial slides. Basically, it is service discovery function, maintains network function profile and available network function instances. The capabilities also can do. Okay, not present in EPC. Okay, this is a new function. And NEF also not present in the this EPC. This NSSF, just now I explained, this network slice selection function. Okay, selecting of network slice instances to serve the UE, determining the allowed NSCI, determining the AMF. I just explained, right? The AMF basically will communicate with this and all. So this is basically, this function is very important with respect to that. Okay, while we implement the network slicing, we'll be using this. Okay, so basically it determines the allowed NSCI. Okay, not present the earlier system. Okay, network function and entities. This is we just covered. We can read it again if you like. This is totally basically some of them are related to the legacy, that is we didn't cover, that EIR and this basically old function. Rest of, or we can see the new function it is. But this EIR is now, it is 5G EIR, means the 5GC function only. We have a new function which is security edge protection proxy SEPP, which is basically used when we communicate with the like one core to other core. Okay, maybe roaming scenarios and all. Okay, we have network data analytic function that is basically used for the uh, analytics about the functions. Means the we have a policy function. Okay, for the policy function, output will be used in the input of this, and it will analyze accordingly, like the application related thing it can have, and then it can basically give you the output accordingly. Okay, so here to understand how 5G will differ from today's 4G network, it's helpful to walk through these 5 technologies and consider what each will mean for the wireless users. These are the technology basically which will be utilized in the 5G. Okay, this millimeter waves and small cells, massive MIMO, and beam forming and full duplex. Okay, it is all about the basically certain, you can say, trade-off or certain capabilities which basically being utilized in the 5G network. Okay, so this is in short, it is giving you the enhancement, or you can say boosting the 5G, where basically it is utilizing all those scenarios. Suppose we have a less network somewhere, so we are not using the big, or the big infrastructure like we are using small cells and all. Okay, and we have basically now millimeter waves. Okay, so we are basically previously we were consuming more data and particular frequencies only. We have wider bandwidth, which is discussed in the initial slides. Okay, so it is all about. Okay, okay, so I'll just go to the other slide then. 5G enabling business expansion. We have challenges like it should be relevant. Okay, and then agility and cost complexity. We have ingredients here. Ingredients are automation, programmability, modularity, network slices. These are the ingredient of 5G. Okay, we all are aware because it is using the cloud native itself. Then we have 5G revenue potential for operator addressing industry digitalization. This is basically the data which is talking about the potential of revenue potential. Okay, it is adding an addressable 36 revenue percent revenue growth. Okay, potential. Okay, here it is mentioned in the graph itself. Okay, and the revenue potential for the 5G based IoT depends on the communication service provider role in the value chain, spanning USD 204 to 619 billion in the 2026. Okay, it is highly promised, so you can understand the basically value of this. Okay, 5G use cases. This is one of the basically business potential from the industrial digitalization. 5G use cases we explained basically. It is basically massive machine type communication, critical machine type communication, enhance mobile broadband, fixed wireless access. Okay, so if you see, it is having certain use cases in that inside that. Okay, in massive we have smart meter, smart agriculture, tracking, fleet management, logistic. If you talk about the critical management, we have remote training. Okay, industrial application and control, remote manufacturing, remote surgery, all those things present there. You talk about the enhanced mobile broadband or fixed wireless access. We have basically non-SIM devices. We have a home like fixed wireless access in the home also, that basically minimize the all the hardware thing. We have AR VR for the gaming and all interaction, that is basically used with this enhanced mobile broadband. Okay, so we have lots of things in fact, with the compromise, or you can say trade-off of latency, speed, and all those things. Okay, okay, so this I just covered to give you more detail regarding this 5G use cases. Addressing revenue potential beyond immediate investment with the use case cluster. It is again basically highlighting where basically we are using which industry is more promising and all. So we divide in clusters, and it is basically highlighting the clusters. You can say potential. So see, automotive, agriculture, media and entertainment, retail and public transport, energy and utilities. Every sector is going to affect basically, and it will. I mean, surely it is promising lots of revenue inside, and then new technology as well. So we quickly talk about the charging system, basically impact on VSS. Okay, we have unlike the old charging system. Okay, we if we talk about the legacy network, we have a online charging system and we have an offline charging system. Here we have a converged charging system. Means what? It is basically dealing with both the offline and online at the same time. Okay, so it comprises with basically, if you see the figure, it basically is from 3GPP only. We have basically in the convert charging system, we have CHF, ABMF, CGF, RF. It is communicating. This interface is called NCHF, which is basically communicating from the core network to the charging system. Okay, so this what is all about this this account management management function and the charging gateway function. Okay, and then we have a charging data function. All those things mentioned here. Okay, we have a billing there, which is basically the interface is BX used for that. Okay, for the offline chain, suppose there is offline communication which generate the CDR that can be used later on, that goes in the billing system. Okay, so we have basically at the same time we can use this convert charging system for online and offline. Here is the more detail. Basically, you might be aware about this SMF and PCF. Basically, nothing is a core net functions. Okay, that is communicating with this interface to charging function. That is this convert charging system basically. Okay, then it goes for offline. It goes to the billing domain via BX interface. Okay, so this is all about this charging 5G. Okay, and this is basically giving you more insight and how it is being communicated to the charging system. Basically, this PCF will be talking to this charging convert system basically for those policy related things, and SMF will talk about the this charging related thing. Okay, and SMSF is communicating for the SMS things. Okay, so we have lots of new things there. I will just I'll stop myself here so that we can conclude something here, and if you have some queries you can ask. Otherwise, in 2 minutes I'll share one quiz so that you quickly answer. I can at least have some understanding from you how you got it. Okay,
Yeah,
so yeah, over to
one
you.
question. Yeah, before that.
Yep. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I mean, can we say almost all today's deployments are NSA?
No.
Where do we have SA deployments?
Yeah, I'll tell. Actually, it depends upon the customer. Suppose one customer, this NSA and SA, how customer basically see this. I am just explaining. Actually, the customer who, we have a customer based on basically certain things, right? One customer is there who is never going to compromise in the money. Okay, he wants the best thing or whatever he can. Okay, that vendor basically is providing on the basis of the expenditure they have, and there are literally customer is divided, you can say silver, golden and diamond customer kind of thing. Okay, you might, when you can understand well, right, if you're interacting with.
No. Can you name some where we are using SA? Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah, SA actually.
Yeah, please,
Okay,
please.
I'll just
please.
give you. Only Ericsson only just deployed. He has given also. I mean, I'll just show you. I'll give you details. Recently, it deployed. I'll just. This is the official site which everybody can access of Ericsson. Okay, I'll go quickly to the customer page. Currently, I am working in internal projects of Ericsson, 5G based. Okay, and what I remember, it has already deployed for 5G, and it has some data. Okay, we have 83 live 5G C countries is 41 count. Okay, of course I cannot I cannot basically give you full information on that. What is available in this Google page, I can share with you. Okay. So if you can see here, we have already deployed these 5G network there. Okay. And which exactly is the 5G? Can we talk one to one? Then I can share maybe some. Is it okay?
Yeah,
Fine to you?
that is okay. I mean,
Because I
wanted
have
to
some
know.
information regarding this.
That's
Yeah.
okay. I mean,
Yeah.
that could be.
I can give you no problem at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
See, currently, I mean, as far as I know, we have NSA deployments mostly in China and Europe and all. It's going to be interesting to see this SA deployment as well.
Either it is actually, I mean, being deployed in Telstra or T-Mobile. Somewhere it is. I don't remember exactly which operator it is, so I cannot comment on that. Like I didn't give some information which is wrong. I cannot do those. So okay, but it is deployed. I am sure because I got this news.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you may be knowing better because you are in the business.
Yeah, I got some communication, some basically deployment. Then they basically given the awards and all, and it was a mail basically. Maybe later on I can read and one to one can we talk about this. This is better, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, one curious question I have. I mean, it may be off the question, but why didn't industry think of deploying NSA in sub-6 and SA in millimeter? This was a rousing question some time back, but nothing materialized thereafter. Do you know anything on these lines?
No, please come again. I didn't get you.
I'll tell you. There was some discussion happened. I think in 3GPP also. It's mostly with respect to industry. Why didn't we go for NSA in sub-6? Okay. Because in sub-6, I don't think 5G is any different from 4G except some control part. And stick to SA in millimeters.
In millimeters, I really didn't get. Can you elaborate more?
I'll tell you. Oh yeah. See, we have NSA. We have NSA and SA, right? NSA uses
I understand.
control part.
Okay.
4G, right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I understand.
Why didn't industry think in those lines, right? For sub-6 and all, we'll stick to NSA, and for millimeter, we'll jump for SA.
For sub-6 and for millimeter. Actually, I'm not sure about the millimeter and sub-6.
There's no NSA. So the millimeter, there's no NSA. You cannot do NSA in millimeter, right? Because it's the controlling is completely different in millimeter than in sub-6.
I'm still not getting. Millimeter is what?
No, millimeter waves, millimeter frequencies.
Okay, waves you're doing. Oh, actually, I skipped that part. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't listen the waves. Yeah. I was listening millimeter only. Yeah. Please. So when you want to ask that why it is used in their NSA and why it is not used in millimeter, right? This is the case. Actually, when you talk about millimeter waves, where it is being used, that is also question. Is this the case that can be utilized in the APC? When APC is having that much capability, it can deploy it? If it is not, then of course it will be implemented in GC only.
That's basically I don't know. I am a pure physical layer guy.
Okay.
I work on L1 and a little on L2. I don't know what's happening in the background.
Yeah. Actually, this is the only case. If something, see, certain things cannot be deployed in this NSA means it has not that much capability. See, we are putting NSA to make this 5G eligible, but of course 5GC parameter functions features cannot be attained by this 5G EPC. This is for sure. Even this about the network slicing, I'll tell. Network slicing one at a time you can do in APC also, but you cannot do the same thing with those things which you are able to do in 5GC. Okay, you have more capabilities in 5GC network. That this RAN is also aware of this network slice.
Okay.
So there are certain things. Yeah, please.
Right. One last question. I mean, it's off the record question.
No
See,
problem.
there is one criticism on 5G, right? Okay. We many, at least in the research community, says 5G as fat 4G. Okay, it's a 5G, but it is essentially a 4G, which is fat. We got more bandwidth, as you mentioned, right? In millimeter waves, you can have 100 megahertz bandwidth, and in MM, you can have 350 megahertz bandwidth, and subsequent 100 megahertz bandwidth. It's more like, at least with physical layer, I do agree with it. It's just a whatever we have, like the beamforming, millimeter, what you say, beamforming, and have large bandwidth. All those things can be done in 4G also. And with respect to physical waveforms, right? With respect to physical waveform, there's nothing much 5G has offered with respect to 4G. They are more pretty much same.
Actually, 4G is limited to very small bandwidth, very small. I mean, if you compare with the 5G, you cannot give. See, with the 5G, you are implementing all those everything. You are implementing with 5G all those things which you can implement with 2G, 3G, 4G, or 5G also. Okay, so 5G is providing you everything. Broadband is, I mean, the bandwidth is much more than expected. It is basically distributed, and it is utilizing all those medium, higher, and the low frequencies. Just like that.
No. Let me put it another way. See, if you put all those things to 4G, it can also do the same job, right? If you give the large bandwidth to 4G, okay, let me put it. If you give the large bandwidth to 4G, if you give the 64 antennas or 128 antennas to 4G, okay, whatever 4G delivers is 5G delivers. Okay, see, let me to be more precise, right? See, with respect to 3G and 2G, 4G is a game changer. You agree, right? Waveforms are different, and it's a packet switching, and all those things. The completely physical layer is completely different with respect to 2G, 3G, and all. But what is that different with respect to physical layer in 5G? It's pretty much same.
5G is having service-based architecture. Lots of things which is not present, totally not present in the this 4G.
Right.
So it's not one thing actually. They have lots of things present there.
Yeah, at least that's what I want to understand. The physical layer part, I cannot say anything. But if there are anything beyond, like at the core network part, maybe I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
So thanks for the nice discussion and for your
thanks. Thanks.
Time.
So I'll just share one quiz, basically small. If you can answer, then it's better. Allow me a minute, please. 2-3 minutes only. Can you open this form which I just pasted in the chat? Anyone can just please ping me back if you can open this. It'll take 1 to 3 minutes. That's it. We close the session for today. Is it like everybody can open or not?
Yes, it is open.
Okay. Can you please give the responses there, and just we will close after this response is completed. It is having small questions only.
Do we get any rewards also for the quiz?
I never thought about that.
So maybe next time come prepared with some rewards.
Yeah, sure. We can manage it.
Okay, good. Mashallah, it was really nice, even for a layman to understand the concepts. Good, mashallah.
Thank you.
Shahid bhai, any?
Can you have one session on this network virtualization?
Yes, we can manage it. Can do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think
actually in our yeah, please complete.
Yeah, that needs a dedicated session, it seems. But also that's
of course
that seems to be
I understand.
next big thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand this.
Your industry is very, especially Verizon and all these guys are very much looking into that.
Yeah, actually, I have given in my company this cloud training, okay, and 5G and some Volt training. Okay, so these training several times, even from Monday onwards. Also, I am giving training for that internally, basically for Ericsson. So I can manage it. Kindly do let me know, like when we can do it for cloud. Of course, there should be. I mean, not in like repeated in the weeks, because I have divided the weeks for my family and for other efforts. So, okay.
Yeah, inshallah, we'll schedule with your timing only.
Yeah, it's better to schedule in like month one is enough, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, this month is going to end in another week.
Yeah, okay, I got
Yeah,
7
so-
responses. I'll quickly discuss these and close it for today. You can have more queries if you want via Savby or any. We use this Slack channel or not, all of you.
we need to create a Slack channel. We
Uh,
use the Slack,
Alright, bhai.
but we don't have a channel.
Sabbai, are you there?
Yes.
Sabbai, we have a Slack channel for all, or how it is?
No, we don't have a Slack channel.
Okay. It's fine.
But we can create. People use it. So
Yeah.
people
Okay,
are
so I'm
interested
sharing.
to-
Yeah, please, Sabbai.
yeah, if people are interested in keeping in touch, we can create a Slack channel. Someone can take a responsibility of
Mhm.
creating the Slack channel. Interested.
Yeah, we use them for security trainings. We use that actually. Okay, so what are the key ingredients of 5G enabled business expansion? Actually, this is a multi-answer type question. If you see, it is having the this square notification. Okay, blockwise. This is a multi. I mean, the only answer will be correct here. Okay, multiple choice you can say. So here all the answers are correct only. It was the second or third slide which basically deals with programmability, network slice, modularity, and automation. All ingredients are present in this 5G. Okay, so most of you have answered this. Okay, then which 3GPP specification defines the system architecture for 5G? Okay, we have 3 responses for 503. These 2 are not correct. So those who have answered this basically is not correct, I guess. Okay, so this is the right answer, which is having only one answer correct. It defines basically 5G GS, system means basically, or it comes here architecture. Okay, architecture is introduced in this technical specification, and the system is specified in this technical specification. Okay, so this is the correct one. Okay, I just asked 2 questions only just to interact and have your answers. Okay, we can have more in future if it is fine.
If you have some material on network virtualization, can you please share that ahead so that we can come prepared?
Yeah, but let me do some work for that, because I have those. Actually, I'm not using company specific things here totally. So I'll try to manage and devote some time and prepare some PPT, and we can discuss there.
No, if you can point
Yeah,
some
right,
web
when we
material also,
schedule-
that could be fine.
Yeah, when we schedule, so before that we'll have any pre-reading kind of material when it is scheduled.
That I'll
No,
share.
no,
Yeah.
If that is shared now, I mean, if you can point some material from the Google or some web, right, or some papers, some technical white papers and all, we can go through that at least.
Okay, for that, Ali bhai, actually I refer to 3GPP, and I'll show you what I refer basically. I go to this site. I'll show you what all I'm looking. Okay, here it is not. Suppose I see in 5G system. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just do like this, and I go to the 3GPP specification. Okay, there it is there. Okay, 3GPP. Okay. Go to the 3GPP release. Okay, I'll just open this. Suppose it is release 15. Okay, other that may be also present. I go to other, which is basically, I'll give you more. Yeah, I guess this one. Okay, ETSI, this, okay. This also I refer. And these two I really readily refer, means, and one more thing is that GSMA. You might be aware about GSMA. Okay, this side. Okay, so it is basically depends upon the what kind of material you get here, what you can get in 3GPP, and this also, right? Okay, so you you need to explore it actually. These, if you go here, you go the release wise, there is release. Okay, you need to find, you have two options: either you go release wise, either you go feature wise. I'll go with this feature wise. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just go here and click here. Okay, and maybe you are aware of this, so don't worry about this. I'm just explaining for those who don't know. I just click here. Okay, I'll download this. Okay, and I found it, the corresponding material here. Okay, so these are the three which I basically I can refer you to get knowledge, because this is the exact information you can get there, and reliable also. Okay,
Yeah.
so here
I mean,
detail
the only
is
worry
here,
is
you can see.
the 3GPPs are more abstract. That's a problem. For a newcomer in that field, it's difficult to understand, right?
Actually, when you go topic wise, it will be easy. Try to understand. Maybe you can get the best thing in this site actually, which I was pointing. ETSI, you get more of the things in 3GP that is mentioned in 3GP. Okay, so better to you get here first, and then you explore there. Then if you get somewhere in, but I am not I cannot suggest you all other sites which are mentioned in Google, because I'm not familiar with them.
Okay.
Mm.
I mean, let me go through them, and then if you have any questions,
Yeah,
I'll get
sure.
back to you personally.
Yeah, we can. Sure. Do it.
There's just one question. Since 5G core is actually completely virtualized, is there any emulator, open source emulator or simulator, which we can basically take for deploy on our machines and use it for experimental purpose?
We are using our labs, I can say. That is basically Kubernetes based. Okay, and deployed this one cloud based only. Okay, so I'm not using other things, only labs. Yeah, I'm using at least for my internal projects till now. For customers, of course, the public cloud and all OpenStack, we will be doing all those things, whatever we can do in it.
No, what I'm talking about is 5G core. You talked about different functions are there, and those functions definitely have to be implemented somewhere. Is there any kind of a place you talk about Kubernetes, so we can basically implement using Kubernetes those functions? Is there any emulator which has certain functions which are already implemented, so that I can get a real life idea as to how this actually, the traffic, the flow of the traffic, the flow of the control is actually happening? How? So this, is there somewhere I can see it in practice? This is how it's being done.
Yeah, it is using network function virtualization only. All these core functions only.
No, his question is, do you have any emulator or simulator, something like readily available?
Okay,
which can we make use of it?
Okay, I got it. Means if you want to simulate it in a home or simulate somewhere, right? It is like that.
Yes. I'm in the academia right now, and we want to do certain experiments on this particular kind of infrastructure. So for these kind of infrastructures, some kind of emulators are required, because we don't have access to those kind of facilities.
Actually, I'm not aware of. Currently, I'm using JMeter for like traffic and all. So most of the things are real only. So I cannot say anything for core functions. What you can what things you can use for simulation and all. Maybe I can get this information from other senior colleagues.
Okay.
You can check with Eurecom.
Eureka. Okay, fine.
Eurecom.
Eurecom.
European communication. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what is there in it, but those guys do develop simulator emulator aggressively. Okay. They are done extensively for 4G.
Let me see.
with the session today? Is there anything, any doubt? Or Abrar bhai, Saif bhai?
Yeah, I think right. Yeah, we can close, inshallah. So thanks, Nadim bhai, for taking out time on a weekend.
You're most welcome. You're
I'm
most
so
welcome.
sorry.
I have a question.
Can you
Yes,
quickly-
Akash bhai, please.
Thank you very much for a nice and wonderful presentation. I'm not from this background. Actually, I work for IT operations, but whatever I get to know, that was very informative. And the thing which we have an ambiguity now, it's clear that 5G is not only speed, that we have IoT, smart vehicles, transport, broadband, and remote devices, everything. So how these things gonna be help, or if I am not from this telecom background, how will I learn this, and how will I understand things, and how will I be useful to work on this? I mean, could you guide me on this, please?
Yeah, I can guide you. Actually, what you have to do, first of all, you need to understand about the core. What is core? Okay. So there is a legacy system evolved, I mean, packet core. You need to go through with the other elements. What are they? Once you understood that, okay, it is present in Google. Just do the Google and you just search it and read it about this. Okay, then you go, or the one I shown you, the 3GPP and other docs I shown here, right? That site and all.
Okay.
So you can go through the specific information you can get there, and after that you need to come with this 5G core. Okay, you involve. I mean, you learn there. I have mentioned all those things which basically were not a part of this training, but I was understanding this. That's like we have a mixed audience. Okay, so you must understand what is this UE and all the terminology, and the RAN. What is this RAN? What is this core? And how this 5G system becomes, and then you understand slowly what is 5G system basically. Okay, then you see the information regarding use cases and the value I have already given. That you can search anytime in Google. You get more information there, like what is the new in 5G and what use cases there and all. But how it is going to implement, that you need to explore with this flow. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So all is I have to start from the scratch, right?
Yes, you need to understand the terminology first. You need not to put much effort in the earlier core, okay, the APC and all, because that is totally different nowadays. I mean, 5G is having lots of new things. Okay,
Okay.
but terminology, yes, it requires you need to learn those.
Okay, brother. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Okay, thanks to everyone for joining the session and making it a lively discussion. So inshallah, we'll keep on having such similar expert talks in future also. So I would request all of you to join along with your friends and relatives and colleagues so that they can also upskill in various technologies. So thanks a lot once more, Nadim bhai, for your nice presentation.
Thank you all.
So
Can we get the presentation?
maybe in future. So the recording will be available at tinyurl.com/mfird after a few days. So you can refer to that, inshallah. Okay, with this, I'll close the session, inshallah. So, Jazakumullah khair, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.